$2 trillion net worth. One thing needs to be understood. When people talk about the richest families on earth, names like the Saudi royal family, the Al Nahyans of Abu Dhabi, the Waltons of Walmart, and tech billionaires usually dominate the conversation. But there is one family whose name has been associated with wealth, power, banking, castles, vineyards, art collections, and financial influence for more than 2 centuries. A family whose story stretches across Europe's greatest capitals. A family whose fortune helped finance governments, railways, industries, and some of the most important projects in modern history. The Rothschild family. For more than 250 years, the Rothschild name has symbolized old money on a scale that few families have ever achieved. Today, we're going inside their extraordinary world of historic palaces, legendary wine estates, priceless art collections, private investment empires, and some of the most valuable properties connected to the Rothschild dynasty. From England to France, from Switzerland to Austria, from magnificent châteaux worth hundreds of millions of dollars to vineyards producing some of the world's most expensive wines. This is the astonishing luxury empire of the Rothschild family. So how rich are they really? What does life look like when your family has been accumulating wealth for more than 250 years? What properties do they own? What luxuries do they enjoy? And how did they create a dynasty that still fascinates the world today? And what you're about to see may completely change how you think about wealth. Chapter 1, Waddesdon Manor, the $250 million palace. If luxury had a physical address, it might be found in the English countryside. Nestled in Buckinghamshire, England stands one of the most spectacular properties ever associated with the Rothschild family. Waddesdon Manor. Built in the late 19th century for Baron Ferdinand de Rothschild, this enormous French Renaissance-style estate looks less like a private residence and more like a royal palace. Approaching the estate feels like arriving at a European kingdom. Towering stone facades, grand staircases, formal gardens stretching for acres, fountains, statues, rare trees, private collections. Everything was designed to impress. Today, experts estimate that recreating a property of this scale and historical significance would cost well over $250 million. Inside are thousands of priceless objects, royal furniture, historic manuscripts, gold ornaments, rare porcelain, museum-quality artwork. Entire rooms are decorated with treasures that many nations would proudly display in their national museums. Yet for the Rothschilds, this was simply one residence among many. And remarkably, Waddesdon Manor isn't even their most famous estate. Chapter 2, Château Lafite Rothschild, the Wine Empire. Travel south to Bordeaux, France. This is where another jewel of the Rothschild dynasty rises from the vineyards. Château Lafite Rothschild. The property spans hundreds of acres of prime French wine country. Some experts value the estate at well over $1 billion when the land, production facilities, brand value, inventory, and global reputation are combined. This isn't ordinary wine. Collectors have paid thousands of dollars for a single bottle. Rare vintages have sold for tens of thousands. Certain bottles have become investment assets. The chateau itself looks like something from a historical movie. Stone architecture, rolling vineyards, private roads, luxury tasting rooms, endless fields of grapes. Every year, millions of dollars flow through the estate from collectors, investors, restaurants, and luxury buyers around the world. While most families inherit houses, some Rothschild descendants inherit vineyards that produce some of the most prestigious wines on earth. Chapter 3, Château Mouton Rothschild, a $200 million masterpiece. Not far away stands another legendary property, Château Mouton Rothschild. The estate is often valued between $150 million and $200 million before even considering the long-term value of its wine production. The property spans hundreds of acres, private wine cellars, luxury tasting salons, historic architecture, rare collections. Its wines are among the most sought after on earth. Some bottles sell for hundreds, others for thousands. The rarest vintages command extraordinary prices among collectors. The estate has become so prestigious that owning a bottle is often viewed as a status symbol. For the Rothschild family, it represents something even more valuable. A business that has survived wars, recessions, and centuries of economic change.
The Strauss & Co. Château Mouton Rothschild 1945 to 2014 NFT. is an incredible collection of Mouton Rothschild, which is mostly large formats.
You have to see it to believe it, basically. Bruyacq, it's one of the world's most renowned collectible fine wines, and they just age beautifully, don't they?
Chapter 4. The art collection worth billions. Many billionaires buy paintings. The Rothschilds built entire collections. Over generations, the family accumulated one of the most impressive private collections ever assembled. Masterpieces, sculptures, rare books, gold artifacts, royal furniture, historic jewelry, museum-quality antiques. The combined value of artworks connected to various Rothschild branches has been estimated in the billions. Some pieces date back hundreds of years. Others once belonged to kings, queens, emperors, and aristocrats. Walking through a Rothschild collection is less like visiting a home and more like entering a private museum reserved for the ultra-wealthy. The London Empire. In London, the Rothschild name became synonymous with finance. For generations, their banking operations occupied some of the most prestigious business districts in the world. The family operated from historic buildings surrounded by the financial elite, prime ministers, industrial magnates, heads of state, investment bankers, global corporations. Many of the world's largest deals passed through rooms where Rothschild advisors worked behind closed doors.
In 2008, Rothschild & Co. decided to demolish their modernist offices in the heart of the City of London. Rothschilds commissioned a new headquarters designed by Rem Koolhaas of the Office for Metropolitan Architecture, which was completed in 2011. The building is quite innocuous from a distance, often disappearing among the glass and steel of the city.
Unlike modern billionaires who display wealth through social media, the Rothschild style was different. Quiet influence, private meetings, exclusive networks, generational wealth. The kind of power that rarely needs publicity. Chapter 6. Private jets, yachts, and ultra-luxury living. While the family is traditionally more discreet than modern celebrities, luxury remains part of the lifestyle. Private aviation, historic estates, exclusive collections, luxury travel, elite events. Members of the family have owned or used yachts, private aircraft, and some of the world's most desirable real estate. One of the most famous examples is the 240-foot superyacht Planet 9, valued at more than $100 million. The vessel features a helipad, luxury suites, spa facilities, private lounges, a beach club, crew quarters, and enough luxury to rival a five-star resort. For most people, a yacht is a dream. For ultra-wealthy dynasties, it can become a floating vacation home. For more than 2 centuries, the Rothschild family has remained one of history's most fascinating financial dynasties. Empires rose, empires fell, wars reshaped nations, currencies changed, governments came and went. Yet the Rothschild name survived generation after generation, not because of luck, but because of banking, investing, land ownership, business expansion, and a relentless focus on preserving wealth. From English palaces worth hundreds of millions, to French wine estates producing some of the world's most prestigious vintages, to art collections valued in the billions. The Rothschild story remains one of the greatest wealth stories ever told. Chapter 7. The rare automobiles of the Rothschilds. Unlike modern celebrities who showcase supercars across social media, the Rothschild family has traditionally approached luxury differently. Privacy, discretion, exclusivity. For generations, many Rothschild family members preferred historic estates, art collections, vineyards, and investment holdings over public displays of wealth. But that doesn't mean extraordinary automobiles were absent from their world. Throughout the 20th century, various members of the family became known for owning some of the finest luxury vehicles available at the time. Custom-built Rolls-Royces, elegant Bentleys, prestigious Mercedes-Benz models, and rare collector automobiles that reflected old-world aristocratic taste rather than modern extravagance. Among the most famous automotive enthusiasts connected to the family was Baron Edmund de Rothschild, whose passion for engineering and performance extended into a collection of high-end European automobiles. Over the decades, vehicles associated with Rothschild collections have included handcrafted Rolls-Royce motorcars that today can command prices ranging from several $100,000 to well over $1 million, depending on rarity and provenance. Classic Bentley Grand Tourers valued at hundreds of thousands of dollars. Rare Mercedes-Benz collector models sought after by enthusiasts around the world. And historic automobiles that have appeared at prestigious concours events and private exhibitions. For families of this level of wealth, transportation has never simply been about getting from one place to another. It is about craftsmanship, heritage, engineering, and exclusivity. A modern Rolls-Royce Phantom can cost more than $500,000 before customization. A Bentley Flying Spur can exceed $300,000 when fully specified. Limited production collector cars can reach into the millions. Yet for old money dynasties such as the Rothschilds, these automobiles represent something beyond luxury. They are rolling works of art, built with the same attention to detail found in the family's vineyards, estates, and historic collections. While newer billionaires may compete to own the loudest supercar, the Rothschild approach has often been different. Quiet elegance, timeless craftsmanship, and wealth that speaks softly because it never needs to shout.
Come, he wants to speak with you, all of you.
Americans strive for money. Money is power. Money is the only weapon that the Jew has to defend himself with.
And perhaps the most remarkable part of all, nobody outside the family truly knows how much the entire dynasty is worth today. For over 2 centuries, they quietly built an empire stretching across countries, industries, and generations. Luxury estates hidden behind private gates. Historic castles worth hundreds of millions. World-famous vineyards producing some of the most expensive wines on earth. Extraordinary art collections that museums would envy. And a legacy of wealth that has survived wars, market crashes, political revolutions, and the passage of time itself.
You are 5 brothers. I want you each to start a banking business in a different country. One to go and open a house in Paris, one in Vienna, one in London. Choose the most important centers. In your day, there will be many wars in Europe. And nations that have money to transport will come to the Rothschilds because it will be safe. You must stand by one another. No one brother must be allowed to fail while another brother succeeds. Your 5 banking houses may cover Europe, but you will be one firm, one family, the Rothschilds, who work always together.
Mayor Rothschild knew one bank wasn't enough. If he wanted real power, he needed Europe. So he sent his 5 sons to Europe's most important financial cities. Frankfurt, London, Paris, Vienna, Naples. 5 cities, 5 banks, 1 family. It was one of the smartest moves in financial history. As Europe entered decades of war and economic chaos, governments desperately needed money. Armies needed supplies, weapons needed funding, treasuries ran short of cash. And when governments needed capital, powerful banking families became essential.
By then, the Rothschild family's banking business had been around for almost 2 generations.
The Rothschild network was perfectly positioned. While other bankers operated in one country, the Rothschilds operated across Europe. Money could move across borders. Credit could be arranged. Large financial transactions could be coordinated between multiple countries. Their influence grew rapidly. Government borrowing increased. Major projects required financing, and the Rothschild name became increasingly associated with large-scale finance. Then came another opportunity, the Industrial Revolution. Europe was changing fast. Railroads were being built, factories were expanding, mining operations were exploding, entire economies were transforming. But all of it required enormous amounts of capital. The Rothschilds participated in financing railway expansion, infrastructure projects, mining ventures, and major industrial developments across Europe. The money was becoming enormous, the influence was becoming enormous, and the rewards were extraordinary. By the mid-1800s, the Rothschild family had become one of the most powerful banking dynasties in Europe. Kings knew their name, governments knew their name. Investors knew their name,
One of the city's most experienced and most respected bankers, Sir Evelyn de Rothschild, is chairman of the investment company E.L. Rothschild and ran the merchant bank N.M. Rothschild for more than 20 years.
I met Prince Andrew through Jeffrey Epstein. I was introduced to him by a very elegant and eminent woman named the Lady Rothschild, the wife of the Lord Evelyn Rothschild.
The name Rothschild walks into the room before you do. It comes with enormous history, quite a lot of gravitas.
Their financial network stretched across the continent, and every year the empire grew larger. More capital, more assets, more influence, more wealth. The family wasn't just making money anymore. They were building a fortune that would survive generations, and that fortune would eventually be transformed into something the world could see. Castles, estates, vineyards, art collections, luxury on a scale most people can barely imagine. The banking empire came first. The luxury empire came next.